My name's Dave Dubeau, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey kids, welcome back. Today, zooming in from Utah, specifically Mapleton, Utah, we have a relatively new real estate entrepreneur, Skyler Baize, and he has got a combination of single family homes and a small multifamily that's out of state, and he's looking to do more. So Skyler, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Yeah, man. So, hey, give us a snapshot. What does your portfolio look like as of the beginning of 2025? What kind of properties, how many, where are they, that kind of thing?
Yeah, great question. So, of course, we count every door we own. At least I do. Makes me feel better, I suppose. Well, I have 7 doors. Again, if you include
how many of them are paying your rent? That's what I want to know.
6.
6. All right. So now your personal residence, do you have a basement suite in it, or
We do.
Well, there you go. So there you go. That is very, very good. So you've got how many different properties at the moment?
3 different properties.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we own a fourplex in Michigan. I was looking for a market that's a little bit different than Utah. You may be familiar with it. Utah is a very strong appreciating market, and I was looking to diversify my portfolio. So I looked around quite a bit and eventually settled on St. Charles, Michigan. And I feel like I've learned some really valuable lessons from investing there. And we can speak to those in just a minute if you'd like. But
yeah, well, let's zoom out for a second. So you got a couple of single family homes in Utah.
Mhm.
And is that more for an appreciation play versus cash flow? And the one in Michigan is more for cash flow versus appreciation. Am I getting that?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
You got it 100% right. Now, one of the properties, the single family home that we own in Utah, we've owned for a long time. And so that does yield a pretty good amount of cash flow as well. But buying any more is definitely where we're looking out of state.
Yeah, that puts a dent in things, that's for sure. All right, very good. So tell me a little bit about the fourplex.
Mhm.
You're investing out of state. Sorry, what was the name of the town that you're in, and why did you pick that town?
Charles, Michigan.
How big is it? Where is it?
So as far as square feet or
No, how big is the town and where is it? Like, I've never heard of it.
it's small, and it's a pretty small town, and it's, I believe, south of Saginaw, or it's in Saginaw County. So the thing is this is a bit ambitious and not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
And as a rookie real estate investor, I made a very bold decision, and I've never actually even seen it in person.
Okay.
A FaceTime video and checked it out that way, and did a very thorough inspection and spoke with them. But there was a lot of trust involved in making the deal. I ran the numbers 5 ways till Sunday, and they just worked. And I was like, let's go for it.
Okay. So how did you find the deal?
MLS.
Okay.
Yep.
So you bought it through a realtor over MLS, and 4 unit. What was the price point, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah. So it was listed for, and I bought this in April of 2022, and it was listed for 130. I talked them down to 120.
For a 4 unit.
That's correct.
Can't even buy half a garage here for that much, man. Probably something similar in Utah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You'd be lucky to find any home in Utah for 500 these days.
Yeah. So for about 1/5 the price of a single family home, you bought a fourplex in a small town in Michigan. So
Correct.
that's great. What's the cash flow like on that property?
So true cash flow after all expenses are factored, including capital expenditures, property management, so on and so forth. It's about 600 a month.
That ain't bad on a now. Did you get some financing on that, or did you go in?
I did. I put 30% down,
Mm-hmm.
and finance the rest. I prefer to keep as much cash in my pocket as possible.
Well, hey, you know what? That's a pretty good return on investment.
Not bad.
And So you've had that for about 3 years now. What have been some of your learnings as a long distance landlord?
Yeah. Um, so there's been a lot. Let me talk about the property specifically and a couple of things I would do differently and why
Sure.
I plan to 1031 exchange this specific property, given what I've learned now.
Yeah.
One, even though it's a fourplex and generally things are metered separately, utilities, I am still responsible for some of the utilities, and I hate that.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't want to be responsible for anything like that.
So why is that? Which utilities are you still responsible for?
So I'm responsible for part of electricity, and it's funny that it's just part of it, but part of electricity and part of the water as well.
Okay, why?
So my best guess is the fact that it was built, it's a very old house. It was built in the year 1900.
Hmm.
So just the way that things were metered.
The way things are made. Okay, very
Mhm.
good. So it was not a purpose built. This is an old heritage type property. Okay, I can imagine a whole bunch of other issues with that. But anyhow, tell me
Yes.
what your other experiences have been.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I was just so, I mean, rookie investor, very excited about cash flow, especially as things were just, these prices were going crazy and very, very hard to find anything like the 1% rule, and was following some of these rules that I understood, but didn't understand so well.
Yeah.
And like I said, the numbers just looked so good. The roof was relatively new. From what I understood and the due diligence that I did, it looked like a great deal, and it has been a good deal. My
Hmm.
plan is to keep it for another 5 years or so and then 1031 exchange it into a newer property.
Okay, so besides the metering issue, what have been some of the other issues, if any, with this
Yeah.
property so far?
So a couple. One, taxes are high and I should have done a better job. That's just something that I've learned, right? Make sure that you understand the taxes and what that burden is going to be like.
Hmm.
Um, Another thing is I took ownership of the property and I tried to manage it myself long distance for about a week and a half to 2 weeks.
But not very long then. All
Not
right.
very long.
Yeah.
Very quickly, I discovered that this was at least, except especially as a new investor, that it was going to be a lot more advantageous to hire a property manager.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was able to negotiate a better rate for them as well. Um, but within that first week and a half to 2 weeks, one of the tenants stopped paying rent. They had been paying rent, at least the story that I got, pretty religiously, um, until I
So
decided.
you showed up until the property got sold. Yeah.
Exactly. Another issue, well, to cap that out, we went through probably three different rounds, if not four different rounds of tenants. One of the people that was an original tenant is still there. They moved from one unit to a different one because it's a little bit bigger, right?
Yeah.
It consists of two bed, one bath, and then two one bed, one bath as
Got it.
well.
Hmm.
He just wanted a little bit more space and he's been great. Now his daughter lives there as well in a different unit,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
everybody's paying, thank goodness. But so that was one issue. Um, Another issue was one of the tenants was a bit dirty and they attracted some roaches. So we
Yeah.
had to have it fumigated.
Yeah.
That luckily happened and we found out about that like almost right away. So we were able to go back to the seller and negotiate. So they paid for the fumigation. So we
Oh,
lucked out in that case.
yeah. Very good. So where do you see yourself taking your real estate business over the next couple of years?
Yeah. So I'd love to scale it and buy a minimum of one property every year.
And what's getting in the way of that, if
Mm,
anything?
well, finding the right deal. So I'm still young enough and new enough to where I'm looking for a unicorn. But the more that I learn, the more attracted I am to invest in markets like Utah and not play just the cash flow game, but more run numbers on a worst case scenario. And if all I can find is a property that's covering, right, after everything is paid, if it's just breaking even, I'm very happy to play the appreciation game, possibly refinance in a couple of years to pull out more cash flow. But I do want to be a bit conservative with the numbers and the properties that I buy. I don't want to overextend myself and get upside down. but I do want to be aggressive in the fact of just, continually investing.
Very good. Awesome. So, Skyler, if people are watching this, they want to connect with you. What's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, so you can find me on LinkedIn. My name, of course, is just Skyler Baize. It's spelled Skyler. Last name is Baize, Baize.
Well, Skyler, I think you're off to a great start. You've learned some valuable lessons, but you're still making money with this 4 unit in Michigan. So that is awesome. And you're going slow and steady. So keep up the good work.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you on the next episode. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.